All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, Yeshwanth. Love back to you as well. Olofare, welcome in. And Time Attack, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for modding. Guys, we are seeing a major bearish backtest in progress now. And I have to say, it is not looking good for Bitcoin here. Bitcoin over the weekend got a little bit of a pump, and we came up yesterday up into our key golden pocket and up into our key bearish backtest of a very, very key anchored VWAP, high time frame anchored VWAP, and really a possible confirmation of a trend reversal here by rejecting from this anchored VWAP and from this channel bearish backtest here. And we are dumping here with some increased volume to the downside locally. I am short on Bitcoin from around 107K, and I am looking to come down a little bit lower here for a TP1 on the trade where we can possibly look at a scalp long, but it's not looking good overall. The higher time frames for Bitcoin, this does look a little bit bearish here. R Pink, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for modding as well. Samuel S, welcome in. Golden Liquidations, greetings to you, sir. And Blair Stevenson, howdy to you. Thank you guys for coming. And awesome, man. Awesome you're driving and listening. You know, remember, always whip out that fib while you're trading and driving. I'm just kidding, of course. But you guys, welcome in. So here's the thing, guys. I want to zoom out here onto the higher time frames, onto the daily time frame. And let me just hide this little arrow here. We are really seeing a possible confirmation of a major breakdown here. And if we look at our larger ascending channel, and this ascending channel really has been our bullish momentum ever since our lows in 2024, those lows that we put in our 8-month-long 2024 range in here. It's not the lows of 2024, but the lows of that range that lasted a majority of 2024. And if we look at this channel that has been highly respected, midline's been respected, midline's been respected, midline's been respected, respected here. And we broke that channel down last week, and it was our first weekly candle close below the channel. Now, oftentimes when you break an ascending channel like this, you will see a bounce from local support before a bearish backtest of that channel. And if you do reject on the bearish backtest, you can consider that the price is going to come down to make new lows into the next level of support below us. And also, if we look at our key anchored VWAP from the 74K lows. Now, in a bullish trend with bullish sentiment, oftentimes that anchored VWAP, if you do see a corrective move down to touch that anchored VWAP, it will hold and the bullish momentum will continue making new highs and making new higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. But when you finally do start to see a range, especially a distribution range up here, and you start to lose and close daily candles and weekly candles below that anchored VWAP, that could be confirmation of a bigger reversal in the trend, in the sentiment, a bigger reversal from a bullish sentiment from April to a couple weeks ago. Now we could be saying that the sentiment is now changing to a more macro bearish sentiment, with us losing the anchored VWAP, testing it multiple times as support, not being able to hold that anchored VWAP, busting down below it with a nice imbalance candle and some volume to the downside. And now we're in the progress of bearishly backtesting that anchored VWAP. If it rejects, it could be confirming that the trend, the bearish trend that has started the past couple of weeks, is going to continue. And we might see months of a downtrend in the making down to our next major support levels, which we do have some key major support levels below us. So I did short yesterday, actually during yesterday's stream. Before we go into that, during yesterday's stream, it wasn't a stream, it was a video. While I was making the video, we were looking at specifically a 5-wave impulse up here, and we did reject from the 618 of the golden pocket right in this area here, but we were actually looking to come up one more time to actually hit the anchored VWAP and to actually hit the channel, and we did that during the stream. We actually hit that during the video yesterday live, and I took a bit of a position there. I took a bit of a position on that trade after I got off the video around 107K. We bumped up around 107K, and I shorted that looking for a move down, potentially all the way down to make new lows. So I have some take profit levels down around 98K and down around 96.5K here, 96.6, 96.5K. But I will take some profit because this was could be considered a 5-wave move to the upside. We now have to look at our golden pocket retracement from the lows of the impulse to the highs of the impulse. Our golden pocket retracement will often act as some sort of at least scalp level or bounce level. Even if we're going to make a lower high, we should be bouncing from that golden pocket. So you can see that golden pocket, and this golden pocket is going to be pulled actually from the lows that we made last Tuesday to the highs that we made yesterday, coming in right around 101,900 to about 102,150, let's say 175. Also, if we look at our support levels that we have here, in confluence with that, we have a fresh naked weekly point of control that closed last week right in that area, right on top of that 0.65 golden pocket, right at around 101,900. And we have our weekend lows, and we also know that weekend lows often get taken out. Weekend highs and weekend lows often get taken out. So we could be seeing a little bit of a wick past this golden pocket to take out the lows, but close the candle body at or above that naked weekly point of control and golden pocket, and then see a move up. This move up will tell us everything. If we bounce from here and we see a 3-wave corrective move up and reject from the golden pocket up here, we can expect more downside to come and a bigger impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another impulse to the downside to make new lows on Bitcoin. So this is what I'm going to be watching for over the next week or so. But what we're seeing here, I just want to emphasize on higher time frames, what we are seeing here with this rejection from the anchored VWAP, the bearish backtest of a key anchored VWAP that is maybe confirming a sentiment change in market structure, in the sentiment of Bitcoin. And also it is the key bearish backtest of that channel that we broke down from. We also have even more confluence there. If we zoom out, let's zoom out to our 6-hour time frame and we look at our larger sideways range. We could say now that this is a sideways range that we've been trading in for a while. And if we turn on that range, you can see that it was also the bearish backtest of the value area low of that range. So few big key things here, a very, very key bearish backtest that we are going in progress right now. Let me just clean this chart up for you guys here. And when you do see a loss of a range with volume to the downside, making new lows on the charts, you see that corrective move to come up to backtest that range, value area low. And if you see a harsh rejection from the bearish backtest of that value area low, which happens to be in perfect confluence with other high time frame level bearish backtests, then we could consider that Bitcoin is likely to now come down and make new lows on the charts below last Tuesday's low, below the lows of our more macro move to the downside. So this is what I'm watching for. And if we look at our money flow here on the 6-hour chart, money flow heavily in the red, pretty bearish here. Let's zoom out to our 8-hour chart. 8-hour chart, money flow is attempting now to cross back, turn back over, see a fake out into the green and turn back over because our momentum wave is now curving to the downside here on the 8-hour. And what I would like to say, though, is we are setting up for some nice bull divs on some more of those intermediate time frames. Let me go back to the 8-hour. And if we do come down and take out our lows into our very key point of control support, you can see here we would potentially develop some really nice bull divs on the 8-hour chart. Hopefully by then money flow is bottoming out and we're starting to curve to the upside. You can see here on NAMI is setting up potentially multiple drives of bull div on the 8-hour time frame if we can come down and sweep last Tuesday's lows, and we can see overall this money flow kind of curving to the upside or seeing a bullish div on the money flow here with multiple drives of bull div on the 8-hour time frame. This could be a very, very nice setup to see a multi-$1,000 bounce to the upside. Even if we're going to bounce from 96.5K or the swing failure pattern of 98K to come all the way back up to back test and take out those highs, creating kind of a new sideways range in here, then that is acceptable for me. That would be a good long position, a day trade long position. And as I say with these more macro ranges, so let me go ahead and turn on that macro range from 2025. As we're seeing these more macro ranges on the charts, all of 2025's price action for the entire year, pretty much a year-long range. Anytime you reject or you fall back inside the range after attempting to break out of the range, seeing maybe a distribution up in this area, attempting to break out of the range, you fall back inside, you have a high likelihood of continuing down to that point of control. But once you get down to that point of control and your overall bearish market structure, you usually don't see a V-shaped recovery and continue straight back up. Usually what you'll see is the market will kind of take some time. The price action usually forms a range down in this area. We grab some liquidity both ways, wreck the local short positions, wreck the local long positions, and then we will make our bigger move to the upside if we are. So I'm looking, we got to be patient here. We probably are not going to see an exact recovery. Now, right away when you tap it, you're going to have traders that long that. You will get an initial nice push up, maybe to create that bigger range within this general area here. But I'm going to be looking at some ranges to form if we can come down and take out last Tuesday's lows into that macro support level. So let me check the chat here. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in, Harrison. Welcome in, Jaffiel. What is up, man? Quiles, thank you for coming. And Jaffiel, absolutely, man. All love to you as well. Yes, please like the stream, everybody. Mark Dutch, what is up, man? Boobs in the chat. Thank you for being here, Mark Dutch. It's good to see you, man. Crypto Clan World, welcome in. Yeah, guys. So it looks like, for me right now, I have to say what we saw yesterday coming up into this area. And by the way, in yesterday's video, live during the video, we were showing, we didn't quite come up to that area yet. We were right about, like, it happened during the video. So it was within the hour before of that video, probably that same candle. I was saying, I'm looking for one more high to be put in so we can create that nice bearish divergence on the 1 hour. Because we were in this little momentum wave right here. If you go back and watch yesterday's video, this momentum wave wasn't topped out yet. And we didn't have 1 hour bear divs. And we were hitting into that 618 golden pocket. If we just pull that golden pocket here really quickly, you could see that we were hitting into the 618 of the golden pocket. But I wanted to just a little bit higher because we did have a naked daily point of control just above us. And actually, we did not tap that naked daily point of control. I'll go into that in just a second here. We did not actually tap that naked daily point of control, but I was looking for really one more high to actually tap the channel and the anchored VWAP, because you could see here earlier that day on Monday, we were rejecting from the 618 of the golden pocket, but we weren't hitting the anchored VWAP or the bearish backtest of the channel. So what I was looking for was one more high to be made that would create those bear divs on the chart, create the bear divs on the chart for NAMI as well as the money flow bear divs for NAMI, which is exactly what we wanted to see. Momentum bear divs on Market Cipher B and momentum and money flow bear divs on NAMI always gives me a pretty good signal that we could be looking at least for a scalp short position or a scalp play on that. And so that is why I did take a short yesterday from that area, in confluence with it being a major bearish backtest and us closing daily and weekly candles below this anchored VWAP. I do have to say my bias right now on more macro timeframes is for new lows to come in on the charts. Now, could we bounce from our naked weekly point of control and golden pocket around 101,900 and come up and make new highs? Absolutely. That is still a bullish scenario that could be in play. So that's why I have a take profit one there, and I might even look for a hedge long position from that area. But I have to say, guys, it's not looking too good here on Bitcoin. And also, if we look at our range that's forming, we attempted to break out of the value area high of that range. We had a very local, immediate bullish back test. We came up to that golden pocket, but we saw a bit of a failed auction above that value area high of our local range. And once you fall back inside of that range, we might see a local bounce to back test that value area low. But we might be able to fill that range in full, or at least come down to your point of control, which happens to be right at 101,900, where our naked weekly point of control and our golden pocket is. Not that golden pocket there. So that is kind of what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. Looking for continued kind of grind to the downside here. and maybe some sort of bounce. But if we do come down to 101,900 and we bounce, I will be looking at a potential take profit one on that bounce at that value area low, because we could just reject from that value area low and continue to fill that range in, or continue just kind of dumping all the way down to 96.5K. Okay, let's check our heat maps here. Let me go ahead and we'll look at the last week of price action on the aggregated heat maps. You can see that coming up, I also highlighted this yesterday. Let's actually go to the last month of price action. I highlighted this yesterday as well, that we had key liquidity resting up into that 107K level. Where was that? That was on the 2-week chart. And we did come up and take out a majority of that liquidity. Now, we do still have liquidity that is above us, and if we can break back above 107K, I do think we will get sucked up all the way at least up to about 112K, but we could get pushed up to about 117K, which I also talked about yesterday as well. Let's see, where was that? So that liquidity, we did have some strong liquidity resting right at 107K. We took out that liquidity yesterday, and now we are seeing a move down, and you can see now locally, the majority of the liquidity of the past week is resting to below us, really coming down into that 98K zone, where we do have our larger swing failure pattern as well, coming down and swing failure patterning those lows. And you know what would be really, really nice for me to see? That does this now doesn't mean this is going to happen, but if we can get kind of a liquidation cascade where a bunch of people are longing maybe this golden pocket, or they're longing the lows down here, and we can get one quick liquidation flush down past the 98.2K into your 96.6, 96.5K area, and then see the candle body close, an hourly candle body close at or above the swing failure pattern level of 98,200. That for me would be a really, really nice entry there for a potential, I don't want to say swing trade, but a multi-$1,000 move to the upside. Okay, let me check the chat here. Humbletti 1669, welcome in, man. Thank you so much for being here. Dr. Rex, welcome in. Yeshwant, love you too. Really do, man. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really do appreciate your guys' support. I really do appreciate how hardcore you guys are, and joining every stream and just showing your love and support. So thank you so much for that. BTC saved itself on the weekly by holding the macro level of 103 at the 50 moving average. It broke out to 107, and it's exactly backtesting that 103K area now. Yeah, interesting. Okay, Crypto Clan World, I know that a lot of people are looking at that 50-week moving average, and that's another level then. If we, first of all, we're already closing weekly candles below our key anchored VWAP of 107. Now, if this weekly candle of this week closes below 103K, which is right where we're at right now, we could see that also confirming that we're losing our 50 moving average for the week on the weekly time frame, which has held historically as support in this bull market. And that could be confirming another bigger momentum shift, or a trend and sentiment shift to a bearish sentiment, to more lower lows and lower highs on the charts. True, I'll just shave the VWAP around my naked POC. Yes, you got to do that, Mark. You got to do that. Okay, looking for replacement. Fat Boy, welcome in, and Jay Long, welcome in, man. Thank you guys so much for being here. Okay, guys, so that's kind of what I'm looking at for the next couple of days to week or so, but I do want to talk about some more macro analysis on the charts as well. So let me go ahead and hide this local stuff here, and we will zoom out onto the daily chart. Now I'm going to hide this ascending channel as well. And one of the things that I want to talk about, if we do lose 96.5K, we do have some crucial support just below us, and that crucial support just below us is going to be where the value area low of the Coinbase range is, in confluence with our macro golden pocket. Now, we know that the golden pocket is one of the strongest levels for a bounce, even if it's going to bounce to overall create a lower high on the charts before making another lower low. We can expect a multi-$1,000 bounce from that macro golden pocket and that value area low of the range. So that is going to be a big support level for me at 92.5, around 92.5. But first, we have some levels before that. But I want to turn on a couple of our pitchforks. So this is a bit interesting, and I've shown you guys this pitchfork many times. Depending on which exchange you're on, it is different. So this is our wave 3 pitchfork on our bigger impulse to the upside, really pulled from those the start, kind of where BlackRock listed the spot ETF to where it was, approved, pumped, and then we kind of, ranged for about 8 months before seeing that new kind of fifth wave come in. But this impulse up that we saw here was our strongest, most volume filled impulse to the upside in this entire bull market. And this pitchfork here is a very important pitchfork where I was able to determine the all-time highs back in January and take a nice short based off hitting the top of our pitchfork. We were also looking for longs around those low 70s based off of hitting into the lower band of the pitchfork. Now, I want to show you guys the difference here. On Coinbase, you can see this low down here. There's not really a wick on that candle. You can see there's not really a wick on that candle. So this pitchfork pulled from on Coinbase's exchange only hit the top of the pitchfork once, and we wicked below the bottom of the lower band of the pitchfork. Now, if I go on to Bybit and we look at the same exact pitchfork, but the wick on the bottom is much longer here. So instead of pulling the pitchfork from down here where the low was on Coinbase, we're pulling it from a lower low down here on Bybit. Pretty much the same exact pitchfork structure, same exact bullish sentiment and trend we're measuring. But you can see on this pitchfork, we hit the top of the pitchfork 3 times. We even saw a little bit of a deviation above the top of the pitchfork for a day. And then we rejected. And then when we came down to the lower band, we didn't wick past it. We bounced perfectly to the dollar from the top for the lower band of that pitchfork. So both bullish pitchforks, both very highly respected, but depending on the wick, the pitchfork changes a little bit. Now, you can see here on the daily time frame, Bitcoin has come down to this lower band after rejecting from the midline. We've come down to the lower band, and we haven't closed any daily candles within our pitchfork lower band here. You can see the wicks inside the band, but no daily candle bodies closing with inside the band. But if we go on to that same pitchfork on Coinbase, you can see that we are actually ranging inside the band, which is what normally happens inside these pitchfork bands, is you will get ranges form inside the band. So let me now zoom in here. This is the same exact pitchfork, just a little bit different of a low based on that low that was on Coinbase. But you can see how nicely we've been forming that range inside the pitchfork band. Now, yesterday we attempted to break out of that range, backtest that band, and after backtesting it, we did come up to make one new high, finally hitting into that anchored VWAP. But now we are falling back inside that pitchfork band. And to me, that is a little bit of a bear sign that we could come down to the bottom of the pitchfork band again, and we could continue to kind of just range in and around this pitchfork band before maybe breaking it down and coming down lower. We also would want to see if we are going to lose this lower pitchfork band here, we have the potential to come down to the bottom of the pitchfork. Now, we want some time to elapse and some ranges to form so that by the time we make it down to the bottom of our pitchfork, it's going to be in confluence with our golden pocket down here and our value area low of our macro range. So it does make sense to me that we do have to be patient, and we could see some rangy price action within this pitchfork for a bit before breaking down, maybe seeing a bounce from 96.5 to backtest that pitchfork and then come down to the bottom of the pitchfork where we would have to really, if we lose 92.5K, guys, it's not going to be good for Bitcoin. We could drop really much lower and pretty rapidly as well. So, coming down to take out your 74K lows pretty quickly. And so this is on more macro time frame analysis. We could be continuing this overall downtrend of lower lows and lower highs on the charts with some nice little day trade long positions in there, But our overall trend will continue dropping until we come down to the bottom of the pitchfork, because when you reject from the top of a pitchfork, you oftentimes will work your way back down to the bottom. And if you don't work your way back down to the bottom, the next time you come down close to it, you usually will hit the bottom of that pitchfork. So that is something that we're going to watch for. A good example of that is on our total 2 market cap, where we did reject from the top of the pitchfork. came all the way back down to the bottom of the pitchfork, bounced from the bottom of the pitchfork, but then eventually, we front ran it here. We came back down again, and attempting right now on the total 2 market cap, total 3, excuse me, to bounce from the bottom of the pitchfork to maintain support at the bottom of the pitchfork. But that's the thing, guys. If we lose our overall macro bullish sentiment, I'm talking about when you're pulling pitchforks, you're measuring the key Fibonacci levels inside a bullish trend. They're dynamic levels that shift over time. As time passes, they get higher in a bullish sentiment. So if we do lose overall this pitchfork, we could be looking at a significant drop here on Bitcoin, a potential bear market starting. Now, I'm not saying we're going to go straight down to 49K or 50K. I would think that we could lose this, come down to 74K, that 70K area where our value area high of this range in confluence with a more macro golden pocket is right at that $72, $73 area, bounce, see a multi-$1,000 move. We'll have to see how this plays out. If the bear market really is here, we can expect this bearish price action with big multi-$1,000 relief rallies in the meantime of them. But just letting you guys know that this pitchfork here, the fact that we are starting to form a range within this pitchfork band, it's not good, because if your trend is down, if you're in a downtrend making lower lows and lower highs and lower lows and lower highs and lower lows, you form a range in here. Sure, you might bust up within that local range to take out your range highs, grab some liquidity, hit into a major resistance, and then you can continue that trend to the downside. So unfortunately, there's macro time frame analysis. I really do have to lean more bearish right now until we can actually start to reclaim 107K. I do think that we might continue on this downtrend and continue, losing this pitchfork band and potentially coming all the way down to the bottom of the pitchfork. But we do have some macro levels before then that we could see major bounces. Also, if we turn on that golden pocket, golden pocket, you can see that golden pocket is right around the bottom of the pitchfork band. Now, as far as today goes, it is Veterans Day in the United States. I'm not sure. The United States stock market open on Veterans Day? Either way, we could start to kind of range in here for a bit. Remember, we have that value area low. We could come up and back test that value area low before coming back down into this golden pocket area. And by then, it's going to be really close to the bottom of the pitchfork band. It's going to be close to your naked weekly point of control and your range point of control. So we could start to see a small little push up here. It is our 103K 50 moving average, 50 weekly moving average, as Crypto Clan World talked about. So go to lower time frames, respectfully. Faster predictions. Well, yes, Damien, what we're looking at is we're looking at the overall trend on higher time frames, and then we can zoom in and we can look at lower time frames and we can look at the analysis. And at the beginning of the video, I don't know if you were here at the beginning of the video, but we did cover some of the analysis, lower time frame analysis. Like yesterday, what we were looking at yesterday during the video, we were looking to come and take out these highs into this anchored VWAP and into this ascending channel here, and look for the bearish backtest of that anchored VWAP, of that ascending channel. And if we did reject here, then we could suspect that we might be coming down to make new lows on the charts here below last Tuesday's lows. Now, in the bullish scenario, we could be looking at this as a double 1-2 impulse. This is your wave 3. Now, already your wave 4 has been invalidated by overlapping these prior highs here. And to me, it just doesn't look impulsive. And so, yeah, but could we see a bounce? Yeah, we could see a bounce from this golden pocket here, and we could come up to make new highs. So that's why I am short from around 107K. My first take profit is going to be right around 101,900. And then if we do come down to hit that, it's a naked weekly point of control in perfect confluence with that golden pocket down there, I will look to maybe take a scalp or a hedge long position, at least looking for a lower high to come in on the charts before continuing to push down here. And I will look to take profit at that lower high. Like if we just pull a theoretical Fibonacci, this is not a real Fibonacci yet, but from the highs that we rejected from yesterday, let's just put it right on that naked weekly point of control. You can see that golden pocket would be coming in right at the bearish backtest of the top of our pitchfork band. And if we're going to range with inside this pitchfork band, yeah, come down to the bottom of the pitchfork band, bounce, come up to the top of the pitchfork band, lower high, and then you're just going to now kind of maybe break this range down. So that's kind of what I'm looking at short term. I mean, yes, we'll be able to play if you're a day trader, you're intraday scalp trader. Absolutely, you could be taking local longs, local shorts within this range. You could play this range here. Like I said, I am short from around 107K. Next take profit for me is going to be 101,900, and I will look for a long at 101,900 if we do have bull divs as we're moving down here. Now, right now on the 1 hour, you can see we're getting a green dot on the 1 hour, and NAMI is printing a local bull div here. But our money flow is draining out ever since yesterday's high. Money flow is consistently draining out. Even on NAMI, money flow doesn't look the best here. And the bull div is not super nice right now. So what I would want to see is I would want to see at least a little bit more, a couple more lows into actual support coming in. Now, I know that 103K is that 50 moving average support, macro support level. But I would like to see this 15-minute bullish div that we're seeing here. We are seeing some 15-minute bull divs. Money flow is starting to bottom out. Also, NAMI's got some nice bull divs and money flow bull divs here. Could give us a nice move right now. We are at the 50 moving average, which is a huge support level. But let's just be real. The 50 weekly moving average is measuring the weekly candles. And to see the daily candle just wick a little bit below that to hit that golden pocket and that naked weekly point of control, and to close the daily above 103K, it would just look like a little bit of a wick down below it. Let's actually throw on, let me go on to a different chart here, and let's throw on that 50 moving average. Let's see here. We'll just put the 50 on, and that's there. So that is going to be our orange one. And then we will move out to the weekly time frame. Yeah, actually here it's coming in around 101K. It's coming in right around those lows, actually right around that golden pocket, guys. I don't know what exchange you're using, Crypto Clown World, but for my 50, oh, actually, I'm sorry, this is an EMA. Never mind. I have to put on the moving averages. So 50 moving average. Let's see if I can just take this one, throw that on the chart. I'm going to turn this one off. We're going to come into here. $50. Okay. So yeah, we are at that 50 weekly moving average right now. It's right at the 103K mark. Okay, so sorry about that, Crypto Clan World. You were right there. But what we're looking at still is just like this candle here, wicked below it and then closed above it. Even on the daily time frame now, this is going to change to a 50 daily moving average, which is above us. But let's just say that it's at 103K, right where we're at now. We could see an itty bit wick down to 101,900 and then close that daily candle above that 50-week moving average. Let me just check this out. Yeah, there has been a few times here where we've tested that moving average. Wicked below it, closed, wicked kind of below it there, wicked kind of below it there, even wicked below it here. I understand that we do want to hold this overall. We do want to hold this overall and close the weekly candle above this. But for me, I'm looking more locally, and I'm looking more at our local TA here and looking for that move down just a little bit lower here on the charts. Okay, let me check the chat here. And no, absolutely, Damien. Appreciate you chiming in and everything. And thank you for being here. And Chad P, welcome in, man. Nice to see you. Okay. Grog says, yes, the USA stock market is open today, November 11th, both the New York Stock Exchange. Okay, I haven't even checked the stock exchange today. Guys, I rarely trade stocks. Crypto's more my thing. I love the volatility of crypto. For me, it's just easier to access as well. I trade on exchanges that primarily deal in crypto, so I will trade the stock market every once in a while, but it's usually the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ, and mainly it's crypto for me. Decrypto, welcome in, man. Good afternoon to you as well. Yeah, guys, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. If you get any sort of insight into the price action, into what Bitcoin's doing or to the market's doing from these live streams, please hit the like button for me. Please share the stream with any of the friends you would like. You might find it interesting. Also, really quickly, I'm going to go through the partners of the channel and talk about our trading competition that we got going on. So the main partner of the channel is BYDFI. They are a VPN and KYC free exchange. All you need to sign up is an email and a password. If you do sign up using my affiliate link, they'll give you minimum of 20% discounts on trading fees, and you can also earn up to 40% discounts on trading fees if you deposit some of the larger amounts into the exchange. They're offering up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses, depending on how much volume you move in the futures markets. And they're also offering some of the best initial deposit bonuses in the entire industry. For instance, if you deposit just $100, you can get a 50% deposit bonus, which is the highest deposit bonus on $100 that I've seen of any exchange. They're also offering various 20 to 10% deposit bonuses. And I have partnered with BYDFI to create a Telegram community where I do post my analysis, some trade setups, not just on Bitcoin, but on altcoins. You guys can come in there and ask me questions on altcoins. And I've partnered with BYDFI to create that Telegram community, which is free. And once you're in, you're in. The way to get into that Telegram community is to sign up with BYDFI using my affiliate link and deposit $100 into the exchange. That $100 is your money to trade with. You'll get the discounts on the trading fees. You'll get the 50% deposit bonus. And then once you're in and deposited the money, you can click the Telegram link in the description of this video. Once you click that link, type in /verify and then your user ID, which will be right up here, right next to your little character here. And that'll get you into that Telegram community. Also, in celebration of us hitting 3,000 subscribers on YouTube, BYDFI has decided to do a trading competition for the Divine Hood community. It is going for a month long. It started on December 5th. So November 5th through December 5th. They threw $2,000 into a prize pool for us with their own money. And the top 5 traders in this competition will get 80% of the prize pool. And the other 20% will be randomly distributed to 5 other players that just play in the trading competition. Also, they're going to be giving away of Samsung earbuds randomly to someone who just registers and participates in the competition. And for every $1 million in volume moved within this competition, they're going to add $100 to our prize pool. So if you guys are interested in joining the competition, it's a way to earn some extra cash on trades that you're already doing anyways, especially if you are going to be good at trading and maybe be in the top 5 of this competition. Then I encourage you to sign up here. Just really cool thing that they're doing for us. So thank you, BYDFI, for doing this trading competition for us. And the link for this trading competition will be in the description, and also I can post it in the chat below here as well. Let me just grab that really quickly here, and we'll keep an eye on Bitcoin as we're looking at that. Okay. There we go. There's that trading competition in the chat. All right. Let me check this chat here. We're cool. You guys are talking about nice cars. All right. Cars are fun, but also useless. Yeah, in some ways. I mean, it's fun to drive them, man. It's fun to have a nice car, to drive a nice, fast car. And thank you, Mark Dutch, for posting that link as well. Rowie, welcome in. Okay, so thank you guys for being here. So this is kind of what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. Really, other than that, other than a potential long position at 101,900, I'm not interested in taking any longs on Bitcoin. And other than looking at, yeah, well, the short was yesterday. We already talked about that short. The short opportunity was yesterday. By the way, we did have our box of resistance up there at that level. So let me throw that on there. This box of resistance we've had up for over a week. And yes, last week, as we were kind of grinding in this little range down here, the only level I was looking at more of a macro rejection from was this general area, with it being our golden pocket in confluence with that value area low, anchored VWAP, and channel backtest. And so we are rejecting from that area right now. Let's see if we can make a higher low on the charts and continue this, at least continue somewhat of a sideways range in here, or if we're going to, dump down to new lows. Didn't mean to do that. Dump down to new lows and continue taking out last Tuesday's lows. All right, let's go ahead and go into our total market cap real quick. Total market cap is kind of just chilling within this ascending channel. Let's see, do I have that still on the charts? No, we'll throw that on there. We have our ascending channel that we've been trading in the total market cap. Now, the thing with this, guys, is after taking the liquidity, we came down and we took a major liquidity grab from our crash lows from a few weeks ago. Let's zoom out onto the daily time frame. And we were looking to come down and take out that liquidity of the crash lows into your lower pitchfork band and into that anchored VWAP, or into the value area low, excuse me. We did not hit that value area low. And because of that, I do think that we could roll over and come down one more time to hit that value area low. And if some time passes, that value area low could be in pretty close confluence with the bottom of the pitchfork band. And then, of course, it's common to find ranges within these bands. So we might start to form a range over the next couple of weeks within this lower band before maybe breaking it to the downside, if the bearish trend is going to continue here. But right now, on lower time frames, from that low that we made, from that swing failure pattern into our pitchfork support level that we made, we do have an ascending channel that is developed. And I'll throw that ascending channel back on the charts right now. From the lows that were made to our higher low up to our initial highs, these three pivots, you can see that we are in this channel and really saw a rejection. We tried to break out of the channel a few times yesterday, could not. We're losing the midline of this channel, and it's highly likely that we're going to continue to grind down to the bottom of the channel again. And if we're just going to continue to trade within this ascending channel, in some ways, this is a bearish sign because these ascending channels have a higher probability to break to the downside. And if we start to lose this trend since the lows of last Tuesday, then we could see a quick flush to sweep all the liquidity that is built within this trend, all the long liquidity that is built within this trend, and see that kind of stop hunt where we stop out all those traders, come down, take new lows, grab all that liquidity before seeing a bigger bounce to the upside. So the fact that we are in this ascending channel, and if we turn on our volume here, let me just get rid of this real quick. Turn on our volume. Man, I hate how these total market caps have this volume. Anyways, you can see from the lows of last Tuesday, our volume is going lower and lower and lower as this ascending channel is kind of grinding to the upside. And anytime you see an ascending channel like this with volume going lower and lower and lower as the channel is forming, it does make it more likely to be a corrective move to the upside, a relief rally or a bounce to the upside before continuing the overall trend to the downside. So I just want to warn you that we really want to be watching this channel. If we start to break this channel down, we could see a bit of a flush, a squeeze to the downside. Throw on that golden pocket, and you can see that golden pocket is coming in right around the channel lows. We do have our higher golden pocket, and that's going to be coming in right around the channel lows as well. So we have to be prepared that we could see continued bounces within this price action. And really, if we're looking at a more bullish scenario, we really want to see a double 1-2 or a triple 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and then your big third wave would push up. Breaking out of the channel, you'd start to see 4-5, 4-5, 4-5s up there. Of course, they're not going to be that small, but I ran out of room. Okay, 1 in 100 move coming. Jawbreaker 30 minutes. Waves 8%. Okay. Oh, yes. Other partners of the channel, guys, besides BYDFI, we do have NAMI trading. NAMI is this momentum and money flow indicator. I use it for entry and exit confirmations on all of my trades. I'm looking for bearish divergences on highs, and I'm looking for bullish divergences on lows. I'm also looking at the money flow if we have any bull or bear divs on money flow. For me, it's a crucial tool for entry and exit confirmations on trades. If you're interested in purchasing this NAMI trading oscillator, an indicator, they are giving us a 50% off discount code for our community. So just click the affiliate link in the description below, and the discount code is Divine50. That discount code is also posted in the chat in the description below. So if you're interested in purchasing NAMI, it's there for you. If not, that's okay too. I understand if you don't use indicators or if that's not the indicator for you. And then lastly, I do have Bybit and MEXC, both great exchanges, both offering discounts on trading fees, some futures bonuses. So if you want to sign up with either of those exchanges, it's a great way to help out the channel as well. Links are in the description if you want to sign up for either of those exchanges. All right, let me check this chat here. Yeah, thank you. Mark Dutch, you are just the best, one of the best mods out there, man. He's so quick on it. I'm talking about it. You have it posted before I even do. So thank you so much for that, Mark. I really appreciate that. Jesus Save 77, welcome in, man. And you are welcome for the stream. Thank you for being here. In 4 hours, ETH at 47.77. Yeah, let's go into Ethereum real quick here. Ethereum, we are kind of rejecting from that resistance that we showed in yesterday's video, or actually this was our initial resistance. I'm sorry. We were looking at yesterday potentially coming up to this area here, but this was our first resistance and we're still kind of fighting with it. We wick past it a little bit here. Zooming out to the 4-hour chart, you can see the reason why we're looking at this area between the pitchfork band and that value area low is it's just a bearish backtest. This range that we've been in on Ethereum for about 3 months, really since the middle of July or like third week of July, we lost that range to the downside with volume coming in, making new lows on the chart. Now, we did bounce from a very, very key support level down here. I've shown you guys that support level many times. It was the macro golden pocket, a macro golden pocket pulled from our last major daily lows up to our all-time high. It's your golden pocket. And then it was also the pitchfork midline. It's on Bybit's chart. It is our 4-year long bullish backtest of the value area high. You can see this range goes back to May of 2021. So 4-year long range. It's the bullish backtest of that range after breaking above it. And it's also our key anchored VWAP from our $1,400 lows. This is considered the same kind of anchored VWAP from Bitcoin 74K lows. And anytime you come down and test that anchored VWAP, you want to hold it as support. If you can hold it as support, you can expect to continue that overall bullish trend of higher highs and higher lows. So we're backtesting that anchored VWAP again. We're backtesting very, very key support in here. But the thing is with Ethereum is we did invalidate our bigger impulse to the upside. And I know I've talked about this on many streams, so I'm not going to go into this too much, but we were looking at a 5-wave impulse here to continue up to about 6K, the top of the pitchfork about 6K. Now, we hit the golden pocket at 3,200. That invalidates your 5-wave impulse because in your wave 4 corrective move, if this was a 1, this was a 2, this was a 3, this was a 4, and we were going to see a 5 to the top of the pitchfork, you want to see that wave 4 correction be between the 382 and the 0.5 of your wave 3 push to the upside. You can see actually on Coinbase, we came down and we hit that $3,500 mark almost perfectly. $3,500 mark right here, almost perfectly. We got the bounce, but we could not impulse out of that. We wanted to see after bouncing, seeing a corrective move here, you wanted to bounce and start to impulse up out of that. We did not see that, and we came down and we hit our golden pocket. Hitting this golden pocket here invalidated this 5-wave impulse to the upside. So we can no longer be looking at a larger 5-wave impulse to the upside. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't bounce and see maybe a larger complex correction in here, a range form for a bit, and then continue pushing up. Afterwards, we might be able to see that. But for now, because we hit this golden pocket, we can't look at that immediate impulse continuing here. And to me, it does look like Ethereum might break down here. And this gets a bit confusing and a bit complex here because our value areas are so different on the 2 major exchanges that I follow. So you guys know, many of you guys that follow me in the chats and the live streams weekly know that I use the Coinbase charts for my volume levels. To me, I've been trading for years and I've back tested. To me, Coinbase has the most respected levels, volume levels on the chart. If you pull a volume profile or if you look at a naked point of control Coinbase chart to me has the most respected levels. The second most respected levels by far is Bybit. And so you can see here of this 4-year long range on Bybit, that value area high is coming in right at that $3,200 level, that backtest, 3150, let's say. That, and we're bullishly backtesting it right now and bouncing. But if we go on to our Coinbase chart and we look at that same range, same exact range, you can see that the value area high is actually what we're rejecting from on the move up. We actually lost it last week with a nice volume imbalance candle to the downside. Now we're coming up and filling up that fair value gap of that imbalance and bearishly backtesting our pitchfork band and our macro 4-year long range value area high. And if we do reject here from this macro value area high, guess what? You might be finding reacceptance back into the range, and you might just continue dumping to fill this range. And so for me, it's really, it's a bit confusing. It's a bit muddied here based off the different value area highs being so different on Coinbase and on Bybit. But for me, I follow Coinbase levels, and we're back inside that macro volume profile. And you can see here what happened yesterday in the last couple of days. We've come up to backtest that key value area high after closing a weekly candle inside the value area. And right now we are rejecting on the bearish backtest of that value area high, meaning that we might continue down to make new lows and maybe even come down to that $2,700 to $2,500 mark. Not right away, of course, but like over the next weeks here. Okay, but zooming in on some of the lower time frames and looking at this analysis on some of the lower time frames, I mean, Ethereum is in this same ascending channel that the total market cap is in. This kind of same ascending channel here. We didn't quite make it to the top of the channel. And in yesterday's video, I was talking about maybe we could move, bounce from the midline, make a move up to the top of the channel where you have your top of your pitchfork band. But we didn't do that. And you can see now we're losing the midline and even back tested that midline earlier today. So we could see a drop to the bottom of the channel. Let me just get rid of this purple box here. We could see a move to the bottom of the channel, which is going to be coming in around that 34.15 to like 34.20-ish mark. And we really want to see that this channel continue to hold and continue to kind of trend within this channel if we want to make it up to the top here. If we start to lose the channel, I mean, we do have some support below us. And if I turn on, let's see, where was that? We pull our golden pocket from the lows to our current highs here, and we look at our golden pocket. Our golden pocket is going to be very close to a new naked daily point of control on the charts. And if we look at our range that is formed from those lows, okay, value area low is not, it's lower, unfortunately. So, I mean, I would say you do have that golden pocket naked daily point of control right around this $3,300 to like $3,266 mark. And that might be a nice little support level, a fake out of the channel. If we do break this down, we would have to watch for the bearish back test before continuing to drop. But you could get a nice scalp from this general area. In 4 hours, ETH at 47.77. Whoa. I highly doubt that, Damien. That's very bullish. And, we do have some resistance above us on Ethereum. We have a couple key local resistances. So first, let me get rid of this. Of course, we have that anchored VWAP. Now, the anchored VWAP is from the crash lows. And anytime you have a major crash like that and that low from the anchored VWAP, if you fall below those, the volume weighted average price of the crash lows, you can expect the downtrend to continue. If we come up here, we backtest this and we reject, we can continue the downtrend because your sentiment is remaining bearish. So I do have a resistance box here with that anchored VWAP and that the top of the pitchfork band. Right now, we're kind of rejecting from the bottom of the pitchfork band. But if we break above that anchored VWAP, then you can see we do have some major resistance also up here at $4,300, $4,290, $4,300 level, where we do have our macro golden pocket pulled from the all-time high down to our crash lows in confluence with your range point of control. And this range point of control, or this range here, We could even pull it to like right here. You can see that's going to be a major area of a back test where we could reject and continue pushing down here. Let's see. Do we have any other levels on there? Weeklies. Yeah, we do have a weekly before that at 4150 close by. And of course, you do have your daily level that is going to be at the back test of the value area low. And actually, I would say that is somewhat of a resistance as well, because you can see this liquidity right before our very aggressive dump to the downside here. Anytime you're kind of grinding in a micro range like this, you take out the range highs. Let me zoom in on this. So you have this little micro range here, and we came up and we took out our range highs, made new highs in that little local range, and then you have an aggressive dump. That means that there was some people shorting within this area, or shorted, took the liquidity grab of the highs of the range. And if they're short, their stops are going to be right above these highs here, right above all these semi-equal highs here. So if we do continue to get a rise up here, you could get a rise up to the top of the channel, reject from the daily, grab the liquidity from this little range into your value area low, which is also right where your daily's at pretty much. And then you could reject, because when you lose a range like this, oftentimes you'll see a low time frame back test. And then if it rejects, new lows come in, and then you'll see the higher time frame back test. And if it rejects, new lows can come in below Tuesday's lows, last Tuesday's lows. So that's this value area low up here, right around 39.28 to about 39.06. Also, money flow looks still bearish here on the 4-hour chart. Do we have any bull divs here? Let's go zoom into the 1-hour chart, and no bull divs on the 1-hour chart. No bull divs on NAMI. Market cipher B is about to cross over into the red, and NAMI's already in the red here. So for me, I don't see any major bounces on Ethereum coming anytime soon. What I would say is we could continue to trend within this channel for a bit. Kind of working your way up to this general area up here, purple box daily, maybe a wick above the purple box, hitting the daily, and then close your candle body at or below the purple box. And let's check our 15-minute time frame. 15-minute is starting to develop some nice bull divs. So for me, if we do come down to about like 34.15 to 34.20, and we continue to see these bull divs on the chart here, then yeah, it might be worth the scalp. You might be able to bounce from the bottom of the channel and get a move all the way up to about 35.70-ish, 35.75. And that could be a decent scalp trade. Actually, we'll look for that. If we're live during the stream and we come down there, we could look for that. We'd want to see continued bull divs develop on the charts, and that money flow on on market cipher B starting to kind of curve to the upside. Right now it's bottoming out, but we don't have a curve to the upside yet. And we could be about to invalidate the 15-minute bull divs if this momentum wave keeps blowing out here. We might be about to invalidate those bull divs. Okay, let me check the chat. If you guys have any altcoins you want me to look at, post them in the chat. I will try to get to as many as I can. Chainlink, we'll look at Chainlink time attack. Definitely. R Pink, you are a pretty good mod as well, so thank you for doing it. Mark Dutch is a seasoned veteran. He's done it for everybody. He's very, very good at it. But I appreciate all of you. Time Attack, Mark Dutch, Abir, and R Pink, you as well, man. So thank you guys for everything you do. Truly, truly thank you. Like, I really do appreciate you guys. And I know you're also good traders. I've seen you guys. R Pink, I've been in Jason's Discord with you for years. I know you're a good trader. Mark Dutch, I know you are as well. I know you're very, very well seasoned in your analysis as well. I bet you if you opened up your own YouTube channel, you would be really just as successful at doing the TA as all of us. So I appreciate you guys so much. Okay. Giggle, if you give me a minute. Yeah, we'll check Giggle out. Crypto Clown World, absolutely. So let me check Chainlink real quick, and then we'll go into Giggle. Chainlink, guys, unfortunately, you know, we are bouncing from our macro support level, which I really, really like that we're bouncing from this level. We hit the bottom of the pitchfork band, hit the bottom of the pitchfork, or excuse me, hit the bottom of the pitchfork band here. We're still in this same ascending channel, just like really all the altcoins are developing these ascending channels. And it's concerning to me because we're developing these ascending channels with volume going lower and lower as these channels develop. You can see volume going lower and lower and lower as we get higher and higher and higher in the channel. And that is a sign of a corrective move rather than the start of a multiple 1-2 impulse to the upside. We're looking at more of a corrective channel that could break down here, and we could maybe see a double bottom of our lows and actually, you know, hit the bottom of the pitchfork again, or you know, at least come down to our golden pocket. So, but I am looking at Chainlink. I was actually long on Chainlink. I was looking to come up to, well, in yesterday's video, I talked about the 17.65 golden pocket. Now that is our golden pocket. Let me zoom out to the 4-hour chart. It is our golden pocket pulled from the highs of the dead cat bounce to our lows that we made. And that golden pocket you can see is very, very key here because we have it's our golden pocket. We have the liquidity of this range here. We had the swing failure pattern in that range. So anyone that shorted the swing failure pattern of this range, their stop is going to be above that high now. That's how you trade a swing failure pattern. We also have a big imbalance candle here as well. So we knew a lot of shorts came in that area. And so there's key liquidity resting at 17.65. So I was looking at potentially coming up to this area. We also have a point of control there. We have our pitchfork band there. We have a daily level there. It's really good resistance up at 17.65 to about $18. But I was also going to potentially take some profit at this lower golden pocket. This golden pocket here is pulled from your last big rejection from the value area high of our range down to our lows. So a couple golden pockets I was looking at, and the reason why I was looking at potentially taking some profit at $17 here, $16.99, $17 really, is because you can see your range value area low is there as well. That was that triangle that we were in for the past few weeks before we broke it down, this triangle in here. And anytime you break a range down like that, after bouncing from a macro level or a support level, it doesn't have to be a macro support level. In this case, it was a macro support level. You'll come up for a bearish back test, and if you do reject, you can expect new lows to come in. So $17, but I wanted to see it happen yesterday. We were bouncing from our channel midline, and I wanted to see a bounce from that midline to come up immediately into that golden pocket. But because we rejected before hitting that golden pocket, and now we're coming back down, you know, we're coming back down to that 382 right now that we talked about yesterday. Man, we'll look at the lower time frames. I don't know if this is going to hold because we didn't come up to this golden pocket. Let me just hide this golden pocket for now. But if we do bounce from this 382 or maybe wick a little bit past it and bounce from the bottom of the channel, we might be seeing a move up to the top of the channel again to backtest that key purple box of resistance before rejecting and coming back down. And then what happens, guys, often at these macro POCs, just like I explained earlier with Bitcoin, is you often it's not going to be a V-shaped recovery right away. You will form a range, and that range could last a few weeks. So we could form a range at the bottom of the pitchfork band and at your macro POC. And this range will be highly tradable with some really good potential swing long positions from longs from the bottom of the range. So yeah, I'll be looking for shorts around here. But if we come down to the bottom again, or even like, you know, your local 786 area, golden pocket 786 area, you could look for potential long positions that might turn into swing long positions. And so that's what I'm looking at for Chainlink. Now, as far as what we got going right now, if we lose this ascending channel, let's zoom in on the 1 hour. Let's see how this looks here. Yeah, money flow doesn't look so good. You don't have any real bull divs here on the 1 hour time frame. So I'm not expecting too much of a bounce from this 382. If we were going to bounce, remember the 382 acts as strong support in a strong trend. Now, I would say this is a trend, but it's not a very strong trend because volume is going lower and lower and lower. So we might see a small bounce from the 382, maybe to backtest the midline before breaking this channel down. But I'm not expecting too much from this 382. And if we do pull that golden pocket, it's this same thing from the lows to our highs that we made yesterday. Let me make sure that's right on there. Actually, yeah, we're below the 382 right now with the new highs that we made yesterday. we can look at our golden pocket. And that golden pocket, it might be a nice fake out of the channel, bounce from the golden pocket. We would want to see reacceptance back within that channel. But you can see locally, we have some nice liquidity resting there from Saturday's lows. And those are weekend lows. And so weekend lows often get taken out, guys. So just be aware that this range could be developing more, and you could bounce from this golden pocket. So around that $15 to like 14.8 might be a nice liquidity grab of weekend lows into your golden pocket. And if you're developing some like 15-minute to 1 hour bull divs as we're coming down there, you might want to take a long look at a long position. But right now, it doesn't look too good on the charts on the hourly time frame for neither Market Cipher B or NAMI. Let's go to our 15-minute chart here. 15-minute chart. Yeah, it doesn't look very good either. It looks like we're about to invalidate the bull divs on Market Cipher B. Money flow is kind of starting to curve out again here on Market Cipher B. NAMI, it does have, well, actually, we've even invalidated the more regional bull divs on the 15-minute here. So looking for at least a move down to the bottom of the channel. Now, that move down to the bottom of the channel is going to be around 15.3. Around 15.3. Okay, let me check this chat. Well, Mark, you should blush, man. You are good at what you do, sir. You are very good at it. We'll do XRP as well. Jesus Save 77. My top 125 Bitcoin this cycle, so I'm short from there. Nice. That's really awesome. Tiki Taku, and welcome in, man. Thank you for joining. Well, technically, I'm not a prostitute. Technically, you know, if you want to use the technical, we are technical traders, right? Okay. Yeah, Mark Dutch did saves us from the grid lines. Thank you for that too, Mark Dutch. I do like this pattern more than the black, though. This gradient, I have to say, I do just personally for me, and maybe it's because I'm just so used to looking at the gradient, but for me, the grid lines are much better gone. Additional help comes from RSI weekly and daily predicting long, usually very oversold when under 25. Yeah, and remember at that 125K top, we had weekly bear divs and daily bear divs and monthly bear divs, even 2-month bear divs confirming. So we knew a bigger correction was possible based off those bear divs. Okay, yep, induce all the dumb money to buy. Yep. With Bitcoin 70 is normal, 80. Okay. Bitcoin SFP. All right, we'll check that Bitcoin SFP here real quick. 102K is important if we break down. Yeah, 102, but for me, 1019, but pretty much 102K is our key support, local support. Okay, let's see. It's called dynamic money flow. I really like it. Okay, let me check this out. I won't. Let's see here. Let me go back here. Mark, I am going to save that. Let's see. Copy that. I'm going to save that and I will look at that later. That indicator, dynamic money flow. Is that a free indicator, Mark? Okay, and then let's go into Giggle real quick. Guess we'll check it on Binance here. Looks like it's a newer coin here. So Crypto Clan World, we're not going to be able to do too much with this because it's so new. Let's go on to our 4-hour time frame. Oh, let me mark out our daily levels here. Yeah, okay. And then we've got a nice weekly in here. Gosh, kind of a sideways range, but what does look nice here. So you had your initial pump from the listing, very big downtrend. You made new lows, and this does look a bit impulsive here. Really, it's probably going to range. Let's be realistic. It's probably going to range for a bit. But if we can see a 3-wave corrective move here, that could be nice. So let's pull our golden pocket from the lows to our highs of this current move here. And okay, that is a golden pocket, but look at, that's not a 61.8% retrace because this is log scale. So we're going to have to take that fib and we put it based off log scale. That's going to give you your proper 61.8% retracement. That golden pocket is coming in right around that weekly level. Let's now check our naked daily points of control and let's see if we have and you do have a naked daily point of control right on top of that weekly. So the very key support level, if you're bullish on this thing and you're looking for potential continuation to the upside, I would say, let me mark that properly, is going to be right around that $84 to $83 range. Golden pocket's just above that. So you'd want to see a wick past that golden pocket, hitting that naked daily and weekly. But this is your really key level of support down below, is between that golden pocket and that naked daily and weekly. And let's now look at, if we're going to see this is impulsive price action to the upside, we want to see a 3-wave corrective move to the golden pocket. Let's say this is a wave 1. Your wave 2 will often retrace to the golden pocket area. Your wave 3 will then explode up. So let's look at our 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction. We'll go from the highs of your potential A wave to the lows of your potential A wave to the highs of your B wave. And we're going to turn on those 1-to-1 to the 1.236. And sure enough, look at that. Your 1-to-1 is right in confluence with that golden pocket. And your 1.236 is below, it's within that box. So this box is absolutely your support level you want to look for longs from. I would say that $92 to like $82, $83 area. Now, I understand that's a pretty big zone there, but that is the level I'd be looking at. And if you can hit that there, money flow curving to the upside here on the 4-hour, I mean, that's the level I would personally be looking for a long position. I wouldn't be looking for anything right now. Let's zoom into the 1-hour chart. Yeah, because you're not developing bull divs here. You can see here you are making higher lows and higher lows, but you're also making higher lows here. We'd want to see this kind of start to break down a little bit. And remember, we're looking for a 5-wave impulse down in this, impulse, correction, impulse here. Like, you'd have to go on real low time frames to count that. And I'm not going to do that right now. But this area of support would be at, between 92.7 and $83. Really, that weekly and naked daily point of control, it would be nice to see kind of a quick wick past that golden pocket to hit that naked daily, but to close like an hourly candle body at or above that $92 level. And honestly, other than that, man, I wouldn't really be looking at too much. You can pull a descending channel here. You can look at your descending channel, and you're trading within this descending channel. Bounce, midline's being respected, midline's being respected. So yeah, you might see a small bounce. Remember, this is a fresh daily here. So if you do something like this, continue to kind of grind down, you could bounce before coming lower here. And then of course, look at the bottom of the channel would also align with your box of support if you do see that small bounce from the daily before. Nice. You called the bottom on Giggle from a couple days ago. That's awesome, dude. I mean, this here, man, that's a hard one because it was such an aggressive downtrend. And at least even on the hourly, I guess you were getting some bull divs, slight bull divs there. Yeah. But it looks like this thing's low liquidity. Like, look at these wicks that you're seeing here. It's getting a little bit better. So I don't know anything about this coin, but for me, you could look for a potential scalp long at 127.4 where your daily level is. And then also you could look for, like for me, the big levels, this level down here between 97 and 83. Okay, XRP. And let me check this chat here. Yeah, absolutely, Mark Dutch. Thank you. You do your thing, man. Okay, let me check the chat first here. Okay, BTC dump. Let's, I'll go back. I promise I'll go back in just a second. Okay, it's not really dumping. Guys, we're just kind of grinding. We're just kind of grinding here. So, Wiggly Worm W2, welcome in, man. It's good to see you. Okay, XRP, we're rejecting from the resistance box that we had laid out. Now, we did have one before at the midline. We broke above that. And if you guys watched yesterday's video, I described that. But this is the back test, or it's the value area high 786 rejection. So we have our 786 in here. I don't know why it's on there twice, but 786 value area high. We also took the local liquidity from this kind of little range that we saw in here, intraday range. We took out that liquidity. So you had your intraday liquidity grab into your 786. But because we're XRP does look a little bit more bullish than some of the other coins. And if we're looking at a double 1-2 impulse, a wave 1, a wave 2, your internal wave 1, your internal wave 2, this does look a little bit more bullish. So because of that, we were looking at bouncing from your channel midline in confluence with your POC, and I believe it was your 0.5 Fibonacci. So let's pull that. Yeah, and your 0.5 Fibonacci. So we're bouncing from our support right now that we laid out in yesterday's live stream, or we're attempting to bounce from it. But we came up, we're just range trading, right? So anytime you reclaim the value area low, you back test it. If you hold it, you could look for longs here. You could look for longs. Your first TP would be around that POC and channel midline. But if you break above that, now you're looking up towards your value area high in confluence with the 786. Because we rejected the value area high, we expected a move down to the POC. Now, if this POC holds, I expect us to come make new highs, maybe hit this naked daily, or even continue up to the top of the channel. Remember, we have a 1-2, 1-2. Now we're looking for a third wave. We could look for a 4, 5, 4, 5 coming up to the top of the channel and continuing to trade overall in this higher time frame bearish channel that we're seeing here. But locally, XRP is coming down to our support level. And this is the area. If we're going to continue this potential impulse to the upside, this is the area we need to look. Man, it does suck that volume is decreasing here. We're getting lower and lower and lower as the price action is getting higher here. But I would say if we turn on that same ascending channel that we've been looking at for a majority of the altcoins, let me turn off this bigger channel real quickly here. And we'll throw a small ascending channel on. Yeah, I guess you did reject from the top of the channel. So you came up to the top of the channel, rejected the top of the channel. If this POC and 0.5 Fibonacci, and it's our channel midline of our much bigger channel, if that doesn't hold, we're probably going to see a move down to the bottom of the channel. And let's pull our golden pocket from the lows to our highs. Let's look at that golden pocket. And golden pocket's going to be right near the value area low. So if this doesn't hold, I'm going to be looking to come down. And yes, you would be seeing a potential fake out of the bottom of the channel, but that would be your next area, the 226 to 224 area. Is there a naked daily point of control there? Let's check. Yes, there is. So very, very nice support below us. Naked daily point of control, golden pocket, value area low, 227 to 220, let's say 225-ish. And in that case, what you'd be looking at is a fake out of the channel. You know, you rejected from the top of the channel here. You're losing your midline right now. If you don't, like if you bounce here but just reject from the midline, you could sweep down real quickly, bounce from this support, close the hourly candle at or above this channel, and then continue kind of pushing up here. Now, if we do come down to the golden pocket, it's definitely going to invalidate the double 1-2 impulse. And then we'd be looking just at more of a sideways range in here, potentially coming down to the lows of the range to actually hit your macro value area low and sweep the lows. Very similar to kind of what we're looking at with Bitcoin. But you are bouncing from local support. Let's see, do we have bull divs on lower time frames? Yeah, we do. You can see here lower lows coming into your support level, higher lows here, and money flows curving to the upside. NAMI, bull divs, and even regionally, bull divs here, money flow is curving to the upside. And you even have money flow bull divs. So pretty nice here. You might at least see a bounce from this general area up to your midline, 245-ish, 245.5, 245 to 245.5. But overall, 2 hour, yeah, man, it does look more bullish than some of the other altcoins. But let's be real here, if Bitcoin continues to dump and the altcoins continue to dump, it's probably going to end up creating a lower high from this potential bounce before coming back down. The next level I'm looking at is really 227 to 225. Value area low, golden pocket, naked daily point of control. Okay. Let me check. Yeah, I'm going to check that indicator out, Mark, afterwards. So let me copy that address. Yep. Okay, WLFI. We'll look at that. And let me read the chat real quick here. There could be, yeah, there could be a black swan event for sure. I mean, we know there's a lot of chaos going on right now. Okay. Tomorrow the CME hits. Yeah, the CME gap. I thought we filled the CME gap today, but I'll check that out in a bit. Bitcoin local range SFP in play. Yes. I'm looking for a little bit lower, 101,900. And I know we could see a local range SFP, but mushrooms or pills? Oh, that's a tough one, Mark Dutch. Mushrooms or pills? It depends on what kind of pill, right? No, I'm just kidding. That stuff will wreck your life. I'm up big for my 107 short. I shorted Sui, Avi, Ada, Avax, Trump. Nice, man. I shorted 107 as well. I shorted and I am going to take profit at 101,900. I think I called the bottom on Giggle. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, well, we'll check WLFI, Gihan. We'll definitely check that out. And we'll check out Super as well, Jofiel. I'm waiting to long BTC from below last week's low. I'm waiting to long Super from 24. Okay. I think we looked at that 24-cent level as a major level. And we'll look at Illuminus. We'll look at Phil as well. So let's check right now. WLFI. Wow, is there a better chart for this? I'm going to go with the Bybit chart here. I mean, it's pretty new too. So you had your initial listing, and we've been in a downtrend ever since. But let me pull a Fibonacci from the highs here to the lows here. Did we hit our wait for targets? So here's the thing on WLFI, and let me make that. Let's see, how big is that move to the downside? Okay, 72%. Yeah, that's. First, let's put the golden pocket on, and then we'll make that based off log scale. Yeah, you're rejecting from your golden pocket area right now. Pulled from your last lower high. I'm not accounting the initial launch highs. I'm looking at this lower high here. So you're rejecting from your golden pocket area. And then, I mean, I guess anytime you reject from a lower high golden pocket, you could pull that channel. It does look like that channel's being somewhat respected there. Let's look at our levels. We'll throw that daily level on that's just above. Yeah, we have a couple of them in here. Oop. All right, that weekly is not. I do have to say, actually, this from this low here, you can see after the big crash happened. So I'm assuming this was a couple Fridays ago when the rest of the market crashed. You were in an upper range up here. You lost your upper range in the giant crash. That was your fair value for WLFI. Now we have a new fair value, and that new fair value is this zone right here. So we can pull the volume profile for that fair value. But what I would like to say, after the crash happened, from this bottom, you took out your liquidity of the range lows. So that liquidity would have been these lows right here at 11.6, 11.6 cents. So you took out the liquidity from the range lows. From that range, from that grabbing of range low liquidity, you can kind of see a 1 2 1 2. This could be your big third wave in here. We could be seeing a 4 5 4 5 here. We could be seeing a double 1 2 impulse. And the reason I say that is because of this big push up here. That does look pretty impulsive there. And if we look at our volume, yeah, nice big spike in volume on that third wave was exactly what you want to see there. So locally, we might continue a little bit higher. We are rejecting from your logarithmic golden pocket. But let's just look at pulling that volume profile from after the crash ended to right now. And yeah, you're above your value area high. You can see value area high. Value area high was resistance, 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 and now we broke above it and we're back testing it. So we might be able to, if we can hold this back test, we're going to continue pushing up here. Let's also look at pulling from the wave 3 lows, which would be these lows right here, to our wave 3 highs. Let's turn on our wave 4 targets. Yeah, and look at where you're bouncing between the 382 and the 0.5. So that's your wave 4 targets. So it does look like we could continue at least breaking our local highs here, maybe coming up to this daily level at 18.6. And let's pull our prior range. Yeah, value area low is a little bit lower. Let's see here. Let's pull it like that. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change it. If we take our non-log golden pocket, that golden pocket's going to be right on top of that daily, and it's going to be the back test to your value area low of your previous range. So I would say that is an area of resistance above us, that 18.6. Be aware. And then right now, 4 hour does, we're printing a hidden bull div on NAMI, which is a continuation pattern. The momentum wave looks like it's curving over. And if we look at our 1 hour here, yeah, money flow doesn't look the worst here. You are printing a hidden bull div followed by a bull div here locally within this little downtrend. So I would look at, but you might come a little bit lower to hit this 0.5. Take out the lows one more time into that 14.5 level. But I would say it's possible that we're going to bounce and continue up to like that 18.6 level. Of course, you would probably see, because this was a 1 2 1 2, and then you have your 3 here. You're looking for a 4, a 5, another 4, and another 5. You're looking for, you're going to see some pullbacks in there. Or if it's going to be a bigger move to the upside, this is your 4, a 5, and then a 4, and then a 5 coming up a little bit higher. But I don't think you're going to make it quite up to your weekly yet. You might make it up to backtest that value area low just above at 19.6. Let's see if we have any naked daily points of control in here. Okay, no naked dailies above us, but and then of course you do have some naked dailies down in this area. Let me get rid of this guy. Yeah, you do have a naked daily near your value area low of your range. And your dailies down in that area. So that 12 point 12.4 to 12.2. That could be a nice support. Now that would invalidate the bullish impulse. But let's pull a Fibonacci now from the lows to the highs so far. And we will turn that. Yeah, I mean, that general area, you have a golden pocket and a daily down there. And your value area low is just below. So, and I know this is kind of a big support zone, but that would be your big support zone. If you start to lose your 0.5, I would say you're probably going to come down here. And then, of course, up above us, that daily. And let's check to see if we have any naked weeklies above us. No naked weeklies above us. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, shrooms, no pills ever. I get you, Crypto Clan World. And shrooms can actually be used in a like spiritual way or a shamanic way, let's say. Ooh, Filecoin is rejecting from that weekly and SFP. Man, okay, guys, this is looking pretty bad here that we took the liquidity. Let me zoom out onto the daily. So we were looking to come up. We were in this descending channel. And remember what I say about descending channels. Anytime you're in a descending channel like this, if you break it to the upside, you oftentimes will sweep the liquidity of the entire channel. We'll look at where the channel started up here. That we swept the liquidity into a weekly level. We were looking for that liquidity sweep of the top of the channel into the weekly level. And we closed our daily candle at or below the value area high of our range. Now we're coming back down to backtest the POC. This actually could be really bad for Filecoin because we saw a quick pump up, took the liquidity of our local range, and now if we don't hold our golden pocket, 786 level, so let's pull that from the lows of this impulse to the highs of the impulse. Yeah, your golden pocket. And let's make sure, let's see, is that more than a 100% move? Yeah, it's almost, it's a 200% move. So you have to keep that based off log scale. Let's make sure that's there. Yep. Okay, and you can see your value area low of the range is right at the channel midline, and then your golden pocket's just below that. Let me just check a non-log golden pocket. Yeah, I mean, you're hitting into your non-log golden pocket right now, but remember, this is a 200% move to the upside. So it's a proper 61% retracement. You have to turn that on log scale. There's this big imbalance here too. You see this daily candle, how it's just one giant imbalance, a fair value gap in there. So we're starting to drop quickly to fill it. What I would say here is this drop that we're seeing so far does look like a corrective descending channel in here where you can almost see it as a bull flag, you know? And if this is a wave one, your wave two often retraces to the golden pocket area before getting your explosive wave three. And I would say you might be able to come up to this golden pocket around $5.50, you know, $5.50 or so. Or even if it's a three-wave corrective move, you might even be able to get up there. So man, okay. Yep, you took at that weekly level. There was a fresh weekly, and you took out that liquidity of this descending channel. The bad thing is here, you can see our resistance box. We just wicked up, took the liquidity out, and we closed our weekly candle below or at your box, pretty much, at your box of resistance. Now, on the daily chart, you closed it at your value area high after taking that liquidity. But that liquidity grab into the weekly was what, remember, I talked about, I bought some spot down here, and I was going to take some spot profit up here, and I had a limit, so it must have taken that. I haven't even checked it yet. A limit take profit up here at that SFP. But the fact that we are now taking the liquidity, closing inside the range, and dumping, pretty much losing your value or your point of control right now. We're losing the point of control of the range. it's highly likely we continue down at least to the value area low. And man, that value area low even pushed up a little bit. We don't want to see that push up on the value area low. Yeah, okay, never mind. It's still right at your midline there. So I would be aware that we could continue kind of in this descending channel chop until you get to that value area low right around 208, but you might come a little bit lower to hit this golden pocket here. Money flow just crossing into the red on the 2 hour, no bull divs. You did actually print a hidden bear div earlier today on the high. Let's go on to the 4 hour. 4 hour money flow looking pretty bearish here and crossing into the red on NAMI. So yeah, I suspect this downtrend's going to continue for a bit more, at least until like that 208 to like 195. Now, if that doesn't hold, you're really in for a tough time. We'd have to look at this small lower range down here. And yeah, you might come back down to backtest the point of control of that range at 167, let's say, about $1.67. And that's also going to be where your 786 is, probably close to that. Yep. $1.67 to $1.62. And that would be the bottom of the channel. So that's your two kind of levels there. I would say this area in here. Let's see, do we have a daily level? No daily levels, but let's see if we have any naked daily points of control or naked weekly points of controls. Okay, look at, you have a fresh naked weekly point of control at your value area low. And then let's look at our naked daily points of controls. Ooh. No, but you also have a naked daily there as well. You have a naked daily POC at your value area high as well, which is going to be important. So I would be looking for a bounce from around, I know this is a big, 225 is right around your channel midline in your value area low, like 225 to 208. But you might wick past it to that golden pocket. It's a bit iffy there. But if you break that, I mean, I think you're coming down to like 167 to 162. Unfortunately. So you're saying you don't need mushrooms for round tripping? No, all you need is crypto for round tripping, Mark Dutch. That's something we all did at one point, or at least most of us did. Okay, let me catch up in this chat here. Yes, let's see here. You'll put money. It currently cost 117,500 to mine one Bitcoin worth, about 103,000. Yeah, do what you want with this information. Yeah, I know, right? It's costing more money to mine it, but the miners are assuming the price is going to go up over time. 98% of crypto Twitter is extremely bullish right now. Yep. And remember, 90% of traders are wrong. AZTV, it's good to see you, man. Yeah, we'll check out Tau. Is this the chart that I use? Yeah, okay. So it looks like the last time we checked Tau, we haven't come up to this resistance yet up here. Let's see if that, first off, let's zoom in here. We're hitting our pitchfork midline right now. We're trying to hold the pitchfork midline. You can see broke above it, support, 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 but it doesn't look like it wants to hold here. I mean, oof, yeah, and no bull divs. Like it would be so nice to sweep these lows and create those bull divs, but right now it looks like you're forming a little triangle in here. And because you broke down into that triangle, you have a higher likelihood of breaking it down because all this is a continuation pattern, a continuation consolidation pattern. So it's a higher likelihood to break down, actually. Not much. It's a symmetrical triangle, but not much. But look at this. You took out your liquidity of your range. First off, you took out the liquidity of the lows. Then you came out, you took the liquidity of the highs. The market makers wrecking people on both sides of this bottoming range here. Continue the range for a little bit, but yeah, this is a bit of a tough one here. I would look. Let's zoom in on some higher time frames and look at some stuff here. Man, look at that wick. Rejected from the top of the pitchfork band, and now we're coming down to your midline. This midline really does have to hold, or you could drop all the way down to your value area low, where your pitchfork band is. That's also probably going to be where your golden pocket is. But we have to put it on log scale because that's more than a 100% move. Golden pocket's at the bottom of the pitchfork band, so that's, yeah, that general area. This pitchfork band of support between value area low and golden pocket, I know that's a big level, but that's going to be a nice little support level down there. Okay, we wicked. This daily is no longer fresh. I mean, we don't have any levels except for the lows of this range. Right here, I would say on the daily time frame, after rejecting from your upper band in your naked daily point of control up here, we can delete that now. We've formed a range between the pitchfork midline and really the upper band of the pitchfork. This is your range you're trading in. But because we did now, we took out the liquidity here, so we can get rid of that. Man, it looks like we might come for those lows at 342. So what I would be looking at is just that range, right? You're going to pull that range, your sideways range, really, of all the price action above your pitchfork midline. We're below the value area low right now. We're trying to get below the value area low. I would think that it looks to me, money flow looks bearish here, and we would develop some night. If we did take out the lows from Friday, November 7th, last Friday, it would develop some nice bull divs here. If we could even flush down, and we're probably going to take out this low from last Friday and this low at the same time, but I would be looking for that bull div. Money flow overall coming up here. Multiple drives of bull div on NAMI and money flow bull div on NAMI here. So coming down, seeing a swing failure pattern of 342 could be really nice to look for long. But be aware because you'd be losing your pitchfork midline. And so you might do something like this. Liquidity grab, reject from the pitchfork midline, and continue down here. But if you SFP that, I would definitely take the long, and then I would look to close some of it out if you start rejecting 365. But from 324 to 365 could be a real nice long position. Or a nice scalp position, I'm sorry. From a couple days ago, we do have a naked daily point of control just below us, and we might be coming to tap that. We might see a small bounce and hold the midline overall, the pitchfork midline. Okay, let's check this. Yeah, and then the last range I would be looking at, I know this chart's messy right now, guys, but we're looking at this smaller range that developed here, more local price action, but on higher time frames, like on your daily time frame or your 12-hour, the bigger sideways range is really this range right here. Of course, you wicked in the crash way low, but that's your range. So let's pull our volume profile for that range and let's look at our range. Yeah, coming down to take out your 342 liquidity into the value area low at 337, like 337.5 or 338 would be nice to see. So that's what I would be looking for is a continued liquidity grab into the value area low of this range. And then of course you have your much bigger range in here, but that if we don't hold this value area low, you're going to start to maybe fill all of this gap in here. Okay, Mickey, what's up, man? Welcome in. It's good to see you. Okay, if you short one of those, you will probably print. Yeah, but you can't short now. I mean, I guess you can, but your risk management is going to be horrible. So if you're not already in a short, guys, wait for at least some sort of relief rally to short because you should always be using proper risk management on shorts, on any trade, not just shorts, but any trade. Yeah, we're continuing to grind down on Bitcoin. I want to see 101,900. Remember, 101,900 is our naked weekly point of control in confluence with your golden pocket at 101,900 ish. Naked weekly point of control, golden pocket, and it's your range point of control as well. If we turn on that smaller range point of controls there. Also, look at this. There's not much volume in between this area, so we'll probably flush down pretty quickly because you have that volume gap within your profile. Lack of volume within your profile. So if we lose the lows that we're at right now, quick flush down to 102, 101.9. Overall, I do think it's possible we could come all the way down to 96.5. Once again, we have to remember the higher time frame bearish backtest that we saw yesterday was very, very concerning if you're a bull. Okay. Extra salty, thank you. Yeah, right, Mickey. I get you. AVAX. Yeah, we'll go through AVAX. Man, patience is key, but this sucks. I bought more alts just now. Yeah, BG, I haven't taken mini trades at all this week just because I'm waiting, and finally we got the key bearish backtest on Bitcoin yesterday. I am short on Bitcoin. Yeah, we did talk about Link as well already. But yeah, it's been tough to look at trades here. BTC dominance is about to go parabolic. It will go above 64% by the end of the year. I think on BTC dominance, we could go a little bit higher to backtest. Yeah, about 62 to 64. I think it could. Because we broke this multi 3-year long trend, 3.5 year or so trend. We broke it to the downside, and oftentimes you'll back test it to confirm a rejection before coming lower. And it's a bit confusing here because look at on the daily time frame, you're saying, hey, wait, Divine Hood, we already did back test it. We already rejected. But if you look on every other time frame, we didn't quite get up there yet. So yeah, we might continue this kind of grindy trend here, even up to our 786, which might be in confluence with that back test of the channel. So I agree with that. We could continue grinding up like that. Now, man, if we start to break, look at all this liquidity. I know it's not liquidity per se, but you could sweep down really quickly. Okay, AVAX. And then let me read the chat here. Yeah, love and respect to you too, Wiggly Worm. Thank you for being here. Triangle. Yeah, you can see the 3 touches on Tau triangle bottom and 2 to the upside. Yes, you can. Gonna break down, analyze the coverage of the triangle. Yes, that little triangle on the 2-hour, I do think it's higher possibility to break down on Tau, coming down to that 324 to 337, where that value area low was. Yeah, please hit the like button, guys, and thank you, Mark Dutch. If you've gotten any sort of insight into the market in this live stream, please hit the like button. Just a good way to help the channel, free way to help the channel. Also, remember, if you do want to join the Telegram community, it's free. All you got to do is sign up with BYDFI using my affiliate link, and you deposit $100 into the exchange. That's your money to trade with. You'll get the 50% deposit bonus. You'll get 20% discounts on trading fees. Once you do that, you can click the Telegram link in the description, type in /verify, and then your user ID, and it will get you into that Telegram. And once you're in it, you're in it. Okay, and also we have a competition running until December 5th. If you guys are interested in joining the competition, Mark Dutch did just post the competition link in the description below on BYDFI. So thank you guys if you want to sign up for that. And thank you, Mark Dutch. Okay, BTC dump, but Asia might not. Yeah, guys, once again, I think BTC is going to 1019 at the very least. Okay, let's check AVAX, and then we can go into maybe Aster. Yeah, thank you, R Pink. I'll see you when I see you, man. Thank you for being here. So, guys, I'm going to go into AVAX real quick. AVAX is just chopping around our value area low. You can see, and our pitchfork band, and we're probably going to form a range within this pitchfork band. But once again, we rejected from the top of our descending channel. So after our crash, after our mega crash, which only went to $17 on Coinbase, not $8.50 like Bybit, we've been chopping in this descending channel. And we bounced from the bottom of the descending channel. We made a nice little rounded, what you could call inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. We pushed up to the top of our channel, but we rejected the top of the channel yesterday. And now we're falling back down, back inside our pitchfork band, which is these 2 green lines right here. And we're falling back underneath the value area low of our macro range. You can see this macro bottoming range here. So not looking too good. And guys, honestly, we might even be able to come all the way down to $13. Like, I'm not saying it's going to happen today. I'm not saying it's going to happen anytime in the next week or so, but money flow still bearish on the daily time frame. Yes, we do have bull divs, but your momentum wave looks like it's about to curl over here as well. And we did front run that key liquidity at 14.65. Now, what we often see, let me hide this channel real quick. What we often see is, you know, we bounce from the value area low in our pitchfork band on the big crash. Oftentimes now we'll see that kind of range develop within this pitchfork band before we break it down, if we're going to continue bearishly. And the range actually could be more like a bigger sideways range in and around the pitchfork band. You know, maybe some sort of triangle in here or something like that. But yeah, it's rejecting from the top of the channel. Let's pull our golden pocket from the lows to our highs of this. And yeah, your golden pocket's going to be right at that channel midline, 16.2 to 16.28 to 16.17. That golden pocket, if you continue kind of dropping here, you rejected from the top of the channel. So you might be able to continue your way down until that channel midline and golden pocket. Now, if you see a bounce from this area, it might be good for a scalp up to to back test that value area low at 17.36. But what I would be looking for is at least a TP1. So if you long this here, I'd be looking for a TP1 at the value area low. Of course, your stop is going to go below that golden pocket area. You know, that's still a 6-to-1 risk reward for a TP1. And then if you break out, I'd just be looking to come up to that daily just above us. And let's make sure that daily's still fresh. Yeah, still a fresh daily up there. So also check this out. Your golden pocket is going to have a daily down below there. Yeah, golden pocket daily channel midline. To me, it's highly probable that we're going to continue kind of just grinding here in this downwards trend until we get to that, you know, golden pocket daily channel midline. Okay, no naked dailies down there though. And we do have a naked daily above us. Actually, it's today, so it's not confirmed yet. Wow, we have a couple naked dailies in here. Okay, so I kind of like what we see here. We have a fresh naked weekly point of control from last week at 16.67. So what could happen here right now over the next couple of days is we could 1, 2, 3 bounce from your naked weekly point of control, see a 4, and then a 5. You get your 5-wave impulse down here. You'd see a bounce from this area, a 3-wave corrective move up to your golden pocket area, and then another 5-wave impulse down, seeing your bigger 3-wave corrective move. And maybe looking at some sort of flat in here, a larger flat correction. But that's so yeah, you could look for a small bounce around that 16.67, but really this is your area of support that I like a lot because your channel midline is here, your golden pockets here, and your daily levels here. And some internal liquidity is resting there as well. And look at, even though these are internal lows, look at all those green candles right after those lows. So there is going to be some longs that entered in this rally here. They have their stops below that low. So it just makes sense as a liquidity grab. If you have that liquidity grab into key support, a nice at least scalp trade from that area. But remember, these are scalp trades. Play them as scalp trades. So when you come up to local resistance, at least take some profit. Yeah, Mickey, I agree with you. Unemployment and inflation, they're both looking bad right now. I do think we could be going into a bit of a recession and a bear market because the jobs numbers are looking pretty bad right now. And remember, the Fed's got a dual mandate: keep inflation low and keep the jobs high. And right now, they're kind of failing on both. Inflation's still at 3% overall. Jobs are getting lower and lower and lower. So it doesn't look good overall. I mean, and we also, as far as technical indicators go, monthly bear divs, weekly bear divs, daily had bear divs near the all-time highs. So just doesn't look good. Okay, Aster. I believe we were looking on Bybit. Yeah. We'll just actually, let me just do that. Let's change this to a weekly. Yeah, you're starting to develop a bit of a bottom on Aster, though. But once again, just like we talked about, so let me hide this. Let me just get rid of this channel for now. What we talk about on ranges, sideways ranges, what often happens? The market makers wreck people on both sides. So you see, we have this sideways range developing, or this descending channel that was developing. You come down, you take out your range lows. You wreck all the longs that were longing all of this. Then after that, you pump, you take out your range highs. SFP your range highs. Actually, you took out your range highs first. Then you came down and took out your lows. You wrecked people on both sides that were trading in this sideways range here. So you wreck both sides and then you continue the range. But eventually we're going to decide a more macro kind of position on Aster. And it's probably going to depend on what, Bitcoin does, really. It looks like we could be forming an ascending triangle in here that does have a higher probability to break to the upside. Okay, you have your naked weekly point of control still above us at 146. We still have our resistance up there. And I like this naked daily right on top of this daily level. Let's see if there's a golden pocket or a 786 there. Oops, not that. I was saying golden pocket right as I was clicking it. All right, so let's pull our golden pocket from the lows to our highs. Yeah, your golden pocket's right there as well. Let's make sure that's... All right, so not on log scale. It's not your golden pocket. Let's see, 786 is down there. I would actually say below it, 786 naked daily. Between 91.8 and 89.27-ish, or 89.35, let's say. That's your kind of support level. You might see a small bounce from this daily around 104 because you're building up some liquidity. So you might just come down, sweep the liquidity of all these lows from the last couple of days, continue up here. And we do have that weekly above us. So it does, key levels are that weekly above us, that daily below us for a scalp, and then this is for more of a bigger trade. But let's pull our volume profile, and actually we can pull it from all the way after the crash. Yeah, value area lows down here. I mean, that's looking pretty good. And then if you wanted to, value area highs at your weekly. So that's really, your key levels. Weekly at value area high. It's kind of your resistance area. 122 to 122.5 to 123.5-ish. Even the liquidity just above at 128. Your lows down here at around 91 to 89. And if we look at adjusting this volume profile just to where it kind of starts to bottom off, man, that changes the volume profile quite a bit. Yeah, I mean, okay, if you look at, because this was our crash, and then we kind of had our dead cat bounce, and then a steep descending channel in here that broke up, and then since the breakup, we've been going more sideways. So if you look at that smaller sideways range from the bottom of the descending channel, not including this downwards price action, if you just look at more of the sideways price action in here, then you pull that volume profile. I mean, we keep rejecting from value area high. The value area low is going to be where your golden pocket is. So I would say that could be a micro level to bounce from as well. Golden pocket, value area low. The bigger volume profile does make more sense to me because after that crash, the market's kind of been finding a bottom since then. So I do like this volume profile a little bit more, but if you're trading more locally, you can use both of them, right? And right now you want to break above this value area high. And if you do, I would look at the next resistance being that weekly point and value area high. Below us, the two levels I'd be interested in are golden pocket value area low of your smaller range and 786 value area low daily naked daily point of control of your larger range. Okay. If it takes out the lows with 5 waves, it is further confirmation for bear. Are you Tiki Taku? Are you talking about on Bitcoin, or are you talking about on one of the altcoins that I'm doing right now? Mickey, did you see they're talking about a 50-year mortgage now, and they're also talking about $2,000 stimulus checks. And so if they do that, man, inflation's going to skyrocket. And they'll start printing again. Aster might take out that weekly is a good short opportunity. I agree. If Aster takes out that weekly, comes up and takes out the liquidity around this weekly, or just comes up to this area, we could be sweeping all these. These are all semi-equal highs in here. So I know we did sweep it technically. We already swept the high. Just barely, though. And a lot of your stops are going to be a little bit above that. So, you know, we could just continue, sweep them, and then fall back inside your range, or like reject from your value area high of your bigger range. That weekly might give you at least a short down to the POC. And you could continue down here. Anyways, guys, I have a call in about 15 minutes, and I'm going to get going, but let me see what Tiki Taku said real quick about Bitcoin. We'll check Bitcoin really quickly here. And I'll take off after this Bitcoin analysis. So, but yeah, if we have a 5-wave impulse down, like you're talking about this being a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. Yeah, if we have a 5-wave impulse down with increased volume, it is likely that we do continue down more here, because this, unfortunately, this does look corrective to me. And then if you start to impulse down here, you know, you could see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming down to value area low, bounce from value area low, get a 3-wave corrective move up, and then you'd look for another 5-wave impulse down here. And remember, we're also looking at this pitchfork band, trading kind of around this pitchfork band here. Yeah, let's see how this impulse is down. Now, remember, because we could consider this a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, because you could consider that a 5-wave contracting diagonal in here, you might drop to your golden pocket. That's a motive wave. You drop to your golden pocket, and then you bounce and make new highs. So I am short from about 107K. My first take profit is 101,900. I'll also look to long this if I see confirmation. If I see some local bull divs coming down to this area, I'll look for a scalp long from this area. But my first take profit will be the back test of the pitchfork band. Because remember, let's just pull that theoretical golden pocket from the highs yesterday to that 101,900. You can see your golden pocket would be coming up to back test that pitchfork band. So and if we're trading around the pitchfork band, let's say we do this, get a nice bounce, a wave 4 generally lasts longer, then you get your wave 5 to the bottom of the pitchfork band. We bounce here, you get a 3-wave corrective move up to the golden pocket. That's going to be your impulse down, your corrective move up, and then you'd look for another impulse down. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. I kind of covered that a little bit at the beginning of the stream, but we'll see what happens here. Yeah, stimulus checks of $2,000, and then, 50-year. Yeah, average buyer's 40 years old. So, hey, man, hopefully. But you know what, Mickey? They're also going to expect us not, if they give us a 50-year mortgage, retirement age is going to go up from what, like 68 to 70 up to like 90, 95. They're not going to want you to retire till you're 95. It's going to be a nightmare. It's a mess. Like the United States is $38 trillion in debt. They are so, gosh, they are so bad. Guys, I watched, Super. I'm sorry, Joff Field. We'll cover Super. We'll cover Super for sure. The United States is just in turmoil right now overall. Sure, we can get out of it, but, or at least prolong it, I should say. But it's not looking good. Yeah, Jaffiel, man, I think that we're going to come down a little bit lower here. Like, look at this. Looks like your little ascending channel on lower volume that you're starting to break down right now. You have your ascending channel that you were trading in, and we're breaking it down right now. I mean, if you pull your golden pocket here from the lows to the highs, you're almost at your golden pocket. Let's pull our range. Yeah, you could see a small bounce from 29 cents, like 29.6 to 29.4. And let's check our naked dailies in there. No naked dailies there. Wow. Okay, do we have a naked weekly there? I bet we do. Yeah, naked weekly point of control there as well. So I expect some sort of bounce in here because it's a strong volume support as well as strong Fibonacci support. So around that 29.5, 29.5, you're probably going to see at least some sort of bounce. And then what I would expect it, though, is, a bounce to create a lower high and then continue down. Like, here's what we might do, Juffiel, is you have your value area high up here. Let's just throw that on real quick. Value area high of your local range. And what I would suspect is that we're going to do something like this. Bounce here, bearish backtest to value area high in the channel, and then probably continue down, maybe even to your 24-cent support. It's remember, it's from 26.5 to 24. That's your macro log golden pocket. But I would expect at least some sort of bounce, a small scalp bounce from that 29.5-cent area, because it's a golden pocket in confluence with your point of control and your naked weekly point of control. Let's look at our daily levels. Let me hide some of this. You do have a daily level that's a little bit below that. I'm just going to throw it right here. I know that's not perfect. Yeah, money flow looks pretty bearish here. And here's the thing, Jaffiel, if we actually do come down, if we continue this, let me zoom out to the 8-hour chart. You can see we're setting up for some nice bull divs on the 4-hour and the 8-hour. Because if we do roll over here, let's say we see a small bounce from golden pocket, make a lower high, and then come down to our macro golden pocket between 26 and 24. You could be putting in some nice bull divs here. You're already starting to develop some bull divs. So you could be putting in some nice bull divs into macro support. Remember that golden pocket, this golden pocket here is pulled from your bear market lows up to the cycle highs of this cycle. And it's a logarithmic golden pocket. See, if we click on that and we take it off a log, your golden pocket's way near the top of the move. That's not right. Your golden pocket should be a 61.8% retracement. Well, this looks like about 80% of the move. And this looks like about 20% of the moves, or even less. So your proper golden pocket, in order to get your proper golden pocket, you got to set it based off log scale if you're using a log chart. That's going to give you your proper golden pocket between 26.5 and 24. And remember, we have that daily order block down here. Nice daily order block in here as well. So I would be looking at that daily order block and that 0.65 Fibonacci around 24 cents. And you want to see some bull divs developing as you come down there. but we could form a little bit of a range before then, like a little bit more of grindy price action before then. And let's pull that all the way. Yeah. And so, gosh, that would be so nice, man. That's going to be really nice if we do get that bull div into that macro golden pocket. But very, very locally. Look at that point of control. It's a daily level. Okay, look at, you have your daily level there. You have, let me get rid of that. You have your naked weekly point of control there. You have your golden pocket there. Like, that is a super nice local support level. I would at least expect some sort of bounce from that 29.5 cent area to backtest your value area high and then continue dropping here. And you could be looking at a 1-2, a 1-2, and then your big third wave, and then you get some 4-5s, 4-5s coming down there, and then that would give you, hopefully, your move up. 29.5, it does look pretty nice for at least a scalp. Scalp long opportunity. If you're coming down there, look at on the 1 hour, we don't see any bull divs yet. NAMI is showing slight bull divs right now on the 1 hour. So as you're coming down there, I would want to at least see 15-minute bull divs. Do we see 15-minute bull divs right now? Not on Market Cipher B. Very, very slight bull divs on NAMI, but you could be developing some bull divs on the money flow on NAMI here. Yeah, man. And then, I mean, this thing is just such low liquidity that it's kind of tough. But yeah, I would expect some sort of bounce from 29.5. Some AI factory about sneakers in Nevada. Instead of 60 employees, they have 10. Yeah, people are cutting jobs here. Yeah, 250 million get about 2K USD or more. The $2,000 stimulus check. And remember when we got stimulus checks, everyone got stimulus checks back in 2020 or 2021, whatever it was. That can pump the markets because a lot of those people put it into the markets. Yes, we do have big monthly bear divs, 2-month bear divs, and triple drive of weekly bear divs. So I agree, Quant. We are looking like a bear market could start. Yeah, I do think AI is going to help out a lot, but like you said, it's going to take some time. And that, the market usually runs in 7-year cycles, more macro cycles of 7 years. But we could go into a little bit of a bear market for a couple years. Stagflation or depression or just something like that. Yeah. But anyways, guys, I'm going to take off here. Shoot, I got a call in like 7 minutes. So remember, 1019, I'm taking some profit there. I might look for a scalp long there. But I do think overall, this rejection here looks really bad. And we might make, it's probable on macro timeframes that we make new lows. And finally take out at least 98.2, but maybe even come down to 96.5. So thank you guys all so much for joining. I will be live again Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you there. Mark Dutch, Time Attack, R Pink, thank you so much for modding. I really appreciate all you guys do for me. And I will see you Wednesday.